Hey. We made it to
Hello.
Tuesday.
We did.
We
Two
all
times
matched
Tuesday.
again. Actually,
We
you
gotta
matched
stop
both of
doing
us.
that.
Yeah.
That works
Yeah.
today.
Could feel
Okay.
it. Could feel it. Enjoy it.
Hi there, and welcome in to KARE 11 News at Noon. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's what's on tap. Police Week continues with more tributes to our fallen officers. We have a look at that from Capitol Hill. Plus, the Timberwolves are hoping to regain their lead on the Nuggets tonight ahead of that scary video out of Blaine as well.
Right, I'm covering the footage that shows a huge fight involving teens at a popular carnival. An officer got hurt in that brawl too, so I've got the updates on how they're doing.
And first, we got to take a look at this weather. I went outside. This was Alexa certified. I could do this.
It was a nice day. Yeah, nice start to the day, and also a whole lot less smoke in the sky from what we've been seeing over the last couple of days. We still have some moderate air quality, basically from the Twin Cities south and west. That smoke is still around, but a lot of it is dispersing in the atmosphere and it's raising off the surface, which is making us breathe a little bit easier, which is good news for us. Temperatures already in the lower 60s. I think we're going to reach into the lower 70s today. Some parts of western and southwest Minnesota are already knocking on the door of 70 degrees. Sunshine and a light to moderate easterly breeze today. You can see east winds between about 5 and 15 miles per hour. Can't complain about today's weather. Looks lovely. Visibility has improved tremendously. Notice a shot from our Golden Valley Skycam facing off towards the east. You can certainly see the silhouette that is downtown Minneapolis. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Temperatures working their way into the lower 70s, which is pretty much our high temperature over the next several days. We do have a couple of rain chances and even a small chance for some thunder in the days ahead. We'll highlight those times for you coming up. Alexis?
Ben, thank you. Work is happening now to beef up security at the Northtown Mall Carnival in Blaine. It's because of a massive fight involving teens that left at least one person injured and the carnival shut down for now. And Cece, my understanding is there is wild video out there. What are we going to see?
Yeah, it's very wild, but we'll get to that video in just a minute. But this is the second straight year that the carnival has shut down early because of fighting. Blaine police say this year's incident happened Saturday night around 7, and that's when officers working security at the carnival reported around 200 teens being rowdy. Take a look at your screen now. You can see around 7:30 p.m. several teens started fighting. Blaine police say while officers tried to break up that fight, other teens from the crowd continued to kick and punch others who were on the ground. We're told one teen even jumped on an officer's back while another hit that officer in the head with her elbow. That officer has a concussion this afternoon. Police say this fight continued until an officer threatened to use chemical spray. Then the large group, as you see there, ran into the Northtown Mall, forcing the officers to close the mall.
I felt bad because it's our job to try to make this a safe place, right? And we want the families that come out there and the people, even young people that are having a good time, that are not behaving like this, to have a good time.
So 50 officers responded to that situation. 2 teens were arrested and have been charged with assault. Authorities say more charges are possible.
Just seeing that video, it's breathtaking.
It
It's like, oh my
is.
goodness, what is going on?
Right, and the carnival, it does open back up tomorrow, but coming up in 30 minutes, I'll have more on the new safety measures that the carnival management is rolling out after that huge fight.
Oh my goodness, Cece, thank you. And the former dean of nursing at St. Kate's University in St. Paul and her boyfriend are charged with embezzling more than $400,000 from the school. Laura Farrow is accused of secretly awarding contracts to Juan Bruce, who police believe had a phony marketing company. The charges say the couple spent St. Kate's money on vacations together. Within the last 12 hours, lawmakers in the State House tabled a vote on a proposal to add a controversial equal rights amendment to the state constitution. Michelle Beck has details about what's next.
House Democrats will again try to pass the Equal Rights Amendment after a long day of filibusters yesterday by Republicans.
Your body, your choice.
The ERA dividing the House is also dividing voters. You can see both sides protesting yesterday outside the House chamber. The bill hopes voters will ultimately decide if many of the protections in state laws should be added to the state constitution. Some don't like the bill because it would include abortion, sexual orientation, and gender expression on the list of protected rights.
This enshrines abortion in our state constitution up until the moment of birth And it doesn't even use the word abortion in the question before the people.
Pregnancy is very clear what we're talking about. I don't think any voter will have any doubt in their mind that the amendment that they're voting on is going to be enshrining reproductive rights in the Constitution.
If the bill passes this year, the question would turn to voters on the 2026 ballot. At the state capitol, Michelle Beck, KARE 11 News.
Other bills at the Capitol are moving forward, including one that would crack down on junk fees. House lawmakers passed the legislation last night, meaning it now heads to the Senate. The bill would curb add-on fees for things like concert tickets and hotel rooms. The BCA says it has completed the process of expunging misdemeanor cannabis records ahead of schedule. It comes after the Adult Use Cannabis Act became law last year. Breaking it down, almost 58,000 people are seeing changes to their records. Those misdemeanor charges are no longer visible in public searches of the Minnesota criminal history system. The next step, the BCA will give a list of the expunged records to criminal justice agencies so they can also clear records from their systems as well. Well, in just a few hours, leaders with Minneapolis Public Schools will be taking on the topic of student gender identity, discussing some possible changes. In a meeting tonight, the board will introduce a proposal addressing inequities some students are facing, including those who are transgender and non-binary. Among some of those changes, parents would be able to request official name and gender updates for their child. It would also address restroom and locker room accessibility. The board will then vote on the proposal next month. The meeting is at 5:30 tonight. In just a little over an hour, a Minneapolis City Council committee will begin reconsidering the rideshare worker ordinance. It's the controversial ordinance mandating a higher pay for rideshare drivers. Today, the Housing and Zoning Committee will look at the proposed amendments and determine a minimum compensation rate. State lawmakers are also working to pass a bill that would set a statewide minimum wage for drivers by the end of this week.
Well, honors for police officers continue this week. This is the Minnesota Law Enforcement Memorial in St. Paul. Around dinner time tonight, peace officers from across the state will stand guard there for 24 hours. The silent vigil starts at 6 with officers rotating in 20-minute shifts. It all leads up to the 2024 Minnesota Peace Officer Memorial Service tomorrow night at 7. At the same time as tonight's vigil in St. Paul, hundreds of officers will be at the nation's capital for a prayer vigil with families of fallen officers and coalition leaders. It includes 8 officers from Minnesota and surrounding states. Morgan Wolf has more from Washington, D.C.
The Pope County Sheriff Office told me that they fundraised a lot within the past year to help send over 50 officers to the nation's capital. This is all to pay their respects and to honor their colleague, Deputy Josh Owen, who died in the line of duty in 2023. His name was read with over 100 officers during the National Law Enforcement Officers Vigil. A truly breathtaking moment as bagpipes played and the glow of candles filled the National Mall leading up to the U.S. Capitol. Pope County Chief Deputy calling this event healing, adding that it helps to know that they're not alone. Fargo Police Department also here. Over 60 people from their department were sent to pay their respects to fallen officer Jake Walleen, who is from Minnesota. His parents feeling the love and support that they have never experienced before. All of this in an incredible show of unity for law enforcement here in Washington, D.C. National Police Week will be continuing, as will our coverage. In Washington, D.C., Morgan Wolf, KARE 11 News.
Well, also in D.C., the U.S. Department of Education and the Department of Justice is commemorating this week's 70th anniversary of Brown versus Board of Education. Here's a look at the Smithsonian's website dedicated to the landmark Supreme Court ruling. On May 17, 1954, the justices unanimously declared separating children in public schools on the basis of race was unconstitutional. It signaled the end of legalized racial segregation in schools. It's one of the pivotal moments in the civil rights movement.